Hello children, welcome back. So this is our second session in the lesson measurement. Now let's have a short recap about our previous class. So last class we saw about measurement and which is going to help us to find the unknown quantity. We saw what are SI units, the 7 basic quantities under it. We learnt about temperature, the instrument used to measure, general formula and the SI unit as Kelvin. We learnt about electric current, the instrument used to measure, and the SI unit as ampere. We saw what is amount of substance, the SI unit as mole, and we learnt about Avogadro's number. We also had an idea about luminous intensity, the instrument used to measure, and the SI unit as candela. Now in today's class, let's see about plane angle, solid angle, types of clock, accuracy in measurement, and rounding off digits, and some numerical problems. So the first topic of today's class is about plane angle. The definition of plane angle is it is the angle between the intersection of two straight lines or intersection of two planes, and the SI unit of plane angle is radian, which is commonly denoted as RAD. Okay, so now let us consider a sphere of radius r, and this is the center of the sphere. I take it as S. Okay, so now I have an object A. So let me place my object here. So this is my object A, and this object A is traveling along the surface of the sphere. Okay, so it is traveling along the surface, and it reaches the point B. So this part of the circle AB is called the arc. So this length AB, I consider it as the arc length, and I mark it as X. Okay, so the next part I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a two straight line which is connecting the point A and B of the arc. Okay, so now again read the definition. It is the angle between intersection of two straight lines. So from the center I have drawn two lines joining A and B. So this two lines where it is intersecting at the point center is making an angle. That angle is called my plane angle, and it is represented by theta. Okay, so what are these two straight lines going to give me? It is going to give me the radius of the circle r. This is also giving me r, and this is also going to give me r. So in other words, this plane angle can be expressed as theta is equal to x by r. That is my plane angle divided by the radius of the circle. So if I take my length of the arc to be 1 and the radius of the circle to be 1, I get theta to be equal to 1 radian. Now what is this radian, and how can we compare between degree and radian? Okay, so now again consider a sphere of radius r. This is my center. Again I take it as S. Okay, now around this center I'm going to draw another circle. So what will be the angle of this circle? Yeah, it is going to be 360 degrees. So we know that 180 degree is going to give us half circle or hemisphere. So full circle means it is 360 degrees. So 360 degree is equal to 2 pi radian is the relation between degree and radian. Now what will be 1 degree then? 1 degree is equal to 2 pi by 360. When you cancel out, you get 1 degree to be equal to pi by 180 degree radians. Now what will be radians to degree conversion? Just the simple one. Take pi radians to be equal to 180, then 1 radian will be equal to 180 degree by pi. So the formulas which I have given in yellow color are important, and it will be useful for you to convert from radians to degree and degree to radians. Okay, so the next topic is about solid angle. The definition is it is the angle formed by three or more planes intersecting at a common point. The SI unit of solid angle is steradian. Now how can we define this steradian? So steradian is a solid angle at the center of the sphere subtended by a portion whose surface area is equal to the square of the radius of the sphere. Okay, so this is how my solid angle is going to look like. Now let's see more deep about this. So have you seen a bulb emitting light rays or light radiation? So this is how it is going to be. So here you see the bulb which is emitting light in all directions, and you can also see like circles around the bulb. So these circles are nothing but the spherical wavefront of the light rays. Okay, so light rays will have a spherical wavefront, and this wavefront and the radius of this wavefront will increase if the object is at a far distance from the bulb, which is the source of light. Okay, so with the same concept, I'm going to draw a sphere of radius r, and this is the center of the sphere S. Okay, so now I'm going to consider a small portion on the sphere. So let this be a small portion on the sphere, and I mark this small portion as A. So as you see some straight lines here in the bulb radiation, I'm also going to draw some straight lines such that those lines are going and touching my surface of the area which I have considered. So can you see? So I'm drawing lines such that most of the lines are meeting on the surface of this small area which I have taken. Okay, so these lines can be everywhere. It will be there around everywhere the sphere. Okay, so at one point when I consider or when I take, you can find from the center of the sphere, this is my center, you can find a cone shaped region. Can you see? So you can find a cone shaped region in the sphere. Okay, so the same image which we saw earlier, this is how I have drawn, this is what I have drawn now. The angle at the point S covered by this conical surface is called the solid angle d omega. Okay, so thus we also saw the unit of the solid angle is steradian. So thus solid angle can be measured as the ratio of the area of this surface and the square of the radius of the circle. Okay, so again if I'm going to take A to be equal to 1 and radius to be 1, I get my solid angle d omega to be equal to 1 steradian. Clear with this? Okay, so the next topic we are going to see about. So the next topic is about clocks. So we all know clocks, we use them for measuring the time intervals. So every day we haven't been like without looking at the clocks, right? Each and every time we'll be looking at the clock. So these clocks, they are classified into two types, that is based upon the display and based upon working mechanism of the clocks. So when I say display, based upon display, there are obviously two things which comes into your mind, that is analog clocks. So what are these analog clocks? This is an analog clock. Okay, so from the picture you can see that it has three hands. Okay, so the needle or whatever you say in a clock, it is called as the hand. Okay, so the three hands of a clock are the minutes hand, which is showing you the minutes, so how many minutes in an hour? Yeah, 60 minutes in an hour. And the hours hand, which is going to give us about 24 hours a day, which is going to represent the hour. And the seconds hand, obviously, so how many seconds in a minute? 60 seconds. Okay, so this is a analog clock. And the second one will be a digital clock, which we all know. Now let's see about the clocks based upon the working mechanism. So under this we have first one to be quartz clock. So quartz is something which sounds exotic, right? Starting with the letter Q, ending with the letter Z. But this quartz is the most common mineral which is found on earth. So the quartz is made up of a chemical compound called silicon dioxide. And the most interesting fact about quartz is that it is piezoelectric. So what is this piezoelectric? So it means that if I squeeze a quartz crystal, it is going to produce some electric